Hey, everybody. Welcome back to MaryBird's Backyard Garden. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mary.
And guess what, Mary? We got another episode of MaryBird's Backyard Garden.
Another episode. I was trying to remember this morning. Is it number 25?
Oh, man. I think 26, maybe?
No.
Could be 26.
Because we're only halfway through the year, aren't we?
26, 52, baby.
You think it's 26?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I think it's pretty sure it's 26.
Wow.
I don't know. I could check real quick just for you,
That's
but
okay.
I'm pretty sure that it's 26.
Awesome.
I know.
Awesome.
This is 26. 26, baby.
I'm astonished.
I know. Me too.
I'm loving it.
Doing good. So, let me ask you, Mary. Just because we have to, what's new in the garden?
Oh, well, let's see. Some new things that have happened this past week. Some of the tomato seeds that I planted back in June to get ready for the fall garden have sprouted.
Okay.
And they're up and growing so nice indoors, and they have their true leaves on them now. They're probably maybe 3 or 4 inches tall. I'm quite excited about them.
Are they already?
Yes.
Wow.
I also had some seeds that I had put in, and before we got the deluge of rain out in the back garden, and these went into these tiny little seed starting trays, and they were not sprouting. And I was just didn't know what was going on, right? But all of a sudden, we weren't able to go out there for a couple of days, and I went out on Sunday, actually, and those things are about 4 to 5 inches tall.
What does that tell you then, Mary?
I'm surprised.
No.
That told me I am
They're
surprised.
saying, what are they saying to you? Leave me alone, Mary. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
But anyway, so those have sprouted. I'm excited about them. Sometimes it works out well if you do leave them alone.
Okay.
If you don't, like the watch pot never boils.
There you go. Nice.
So I'm quite excited. We've got a whole bunch of basil that has sprouted, purple basil. And I'm excited about putting that out in the garden.
Okay.
And let's see, what else has happened? Something happened this past week that's very exciting.
What? I don't know. What happened?
You do know.
What happened? I don't know, Mary.
You had to really put your back into it.
I don't know. I can't remember. What did we do?
Well, Jeff, we have one small corner of the garden. The dogs love to bark at people that go into our neighbor's backyard.
Oh, I know. Darn. Shoot. I don't know. We're pretty active, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
And Jeff actually found some panels, screening panels, that are beautiful, and they were on sale, which makes them extra nice. And so we ordered 4 of them.
We did.
And it was a day's job for us to put them together. They weren't hard or anything.
They're not hard.
Just,
they have an enormous amount of bolts and screws. It's not a hard thing. It's just
not hard.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But they actually turned out pretty good.
They did. They turned out beautiful.
Yeah, they're metal privacy screens, what they're called.
Yeah.
They're 72 inches high and 44 inches wide. And they come with, I will say this though, when you're looking, if anybody's out there looking for them, I know if you look at the ads and all the stuff, it'll show that they are, they can freestand on a little, they have like little, legs.
They do.
But I will tell you this, I don't.
We were trying to put them together and we had a light breeze come through.
Yeah, I would hesitate to do that.
Whipping.
Even if you you can put them in the ground and you can hold them, but I just don't think they're and they're heavy. They're pretty heavy. I mean, they're not like cheap ones, but I just don't think they would withhold the wind. I think they'd be rough in the wind. So we were able to put them against our fence and then zip tie them to the fence without their feet on them.
Yes.
And it looks great. We were able to get them even.
Super.
And now the people that come and work or our neighbors go on the side of the yard aren't going to get attacked by our beasts.
Well, our dogs love to run up. They can't get through the bars of the fence, but they love to bark.
They do.
Vociferously? Is that the word?
Maybe.
Anyways, and there's only maybe 1.5 feet of open space for the people to walk by on our neighbor's side of the fence.
Yeah.
So this way, everybody can be comfortable.
Yeah.
And that has made me happy.
And our dogs aren't biters. They're not going to bite anybody, but it's just annoying. It's annoying when somebody's over there trying to do something and they're constantly, yapping in their faces. But the screens are really nice.
Oh, they're very decorative.
They are. They're
really
decorative. They're slatted. They're metal. They're really well made. Like I said, the only thing if you guys ever, I know if you look at them, people have them, they put them on their deck and stuff.
We had thought about doing that before.
And I will tell you that
so.
I don't believe that would work. You could I'm sure you could somehow make the feet, put them in the ground or screw them in a deck, whatever you do in the deck. The problem is still going to be it's 72 inches high. It's just going to be, I don't know. I would be scared to do it.
Yeah.
But for what we used them for, I think they were great.
They're going to be perfect.
They are going to be perfect, and they look fantastic.
They do. I am impressed.
And I told Mary with the slatted ones, you can get those little hooks like you get for the garage slats. Mm-hmm. You can get the hooks that hold out, and you could put a plant on there or do something.
Love it.
Do something spiffy over there.
Absolutely, it's going to be in our future.
Yeah.
Spiffifying.
But if we had 4 of them, and I'm going to estimate that each one was how many screws and bolts? It was a lot, man. It was an enormous amount. It's not hard to put together, but it is a lot of screws and bolts.
Small pieces.
Yeah, but yes, we did that, and it looks really good. I like it.
It does. And the funny part about it is, it's right by where we planted the shrubbery, and where I put the cloth containers with no bottoms, so I could get the shrubs to root into the ground. And Jeff had to actually slide those planters along the ground, but he did it.
We did. We got it moved. Yeah,
not too much dirt.
And we just nothing, not hardly at all. And then we moved them right back. So I think it's going to look. It's it's going to be a great addition, and a little privacy for for us too, but for the neighbors, and there's a pool pump like on their side, and people that come over. I know that guy's really annoyed when he comes over, but hey, sometimes it is what it is. But as long as they, as long as they don't do anything but bark. Yes. But now I think we got it. We got her taken care of.
I'm very, very excited.
There you go.
It's going to be great. Mm-hmm. It's going to be great. So, did you think of something else that was new in the garden?
I didn't have anything else new. We saw our little friend, the Roadrunner. He's been cruising around.
I'm loving it.
Put bird food out, and the birds ate the food in like a day.
A day.
Which was pretty ridiculous, to be perfectly honest with you.
But we are talking birds.
A lot of birds.
So many birds.
And we saw the bunting again.
Yes.
And I think it was a pair. I think it was a pair. Mm-hmm. I believe it was a pair, which is pretty cool. We like our birds.
That is very
But my goodness, we have 1, 2, 3 or 4 bird feeders. They annihilated those things.
They do.
Like in one day.
It's hilarious.
I was like, all right, hold on now.
I used to blame it on the mockingbird because he would land, and I think he was sorting through the seeds with his beak and flipping some out. Mm-hmm. But I don't say it's him anymore because I don't think he gets a chance to get to the bird seed anymore.
No, it's cool. It's fun.
It's very fun.
That's all I had.
Love it.
Did you have anything else new in the garden this week?
No, those are my new topics.
Well, let's slide right into topic number 1, Mary. What do you have for us?
Let's slide, or actually maybe we'll flutter.
Okay, let's flutter. Flutter like a bird into topic number 1.
The backyard has just been full of butterflies, orange butterflies, yellow and black striped butterflies. I wish I could name each and every one of them, but that's one of my things to learn. But every day it has just been multiple butterflies. And so that I was thinking about that. And when I looked online, sort of doing butterflies in Central Texas, the milkweed came up as a plant to discuss. And it's actually a very interesting plant. I learned a few things about the milkweed.
Okay.
And so I wanted to just talk about it.
Let's talk milkweed today.
Let's talk milkweed.
Okay.
Milkweed is a Asclepsia, and that's the genus, I suppose, that you would say it is. It's a perennial.
Okay.
And it's also a flowering plant. And it's very interesting. The flowering habit is super interesting. The reason it's called milkweed is if you broke or cut the stem, it would exude a milky sap that contains a small amount of latex.
Oh, okay.
So you actually don't want to get it on your skin, just like the fig tree and some of the other plants that we've talked about. There's considerable amount of species in this genus.
Okay.
About 200.
200 milkweeds?
More, about 200 milkweeds or more.
Yowzer.
But not every milkweed is native to your area. And that's where the bugaboo comes in.
Okay.
So the monarch butterfly is having a big challenge right now with its numbers. And people are trying to protect it and help it along the way to expand the population of the monarch butterfly. But if you plant the wrong milkweed is the larval host for the monarch butterfly, but it has to be the correct milkweed for your area. And the problem has become that people are planting tropical milkweed and growing it as an annual in the areas where it's not native. And the monarch butterflies are getting tricked into staying in an area where they'll freeze.
Oh, yeah.
And they won't complete their whole migration pattern.
Wow. Interesting.
So it's important for you to do your little research, find out what milkweeds are good for your area because they are so widely distributed. There's actually other butterflies that are called milkweed butterflies that need our native milkweeds to reproduce and have a larval host. And a milkweed is actually a very important nectar source for a lot of our native pollinators. Bees, wasps, beetles. I didn't know beetles. And moths. They really need that. But the monarch needs the leaves as the food source for the larvae.
Okay.
Your milkweed plant should not be exposed to your dogs or cats or your kids that they if you can't monitor them. It does have that milky sap, which is not anything that you want bitten into or anything like that. They have 3 defense mechanisms. They have very hairy leaves, which irritate the people trying to chew on it, right?
The people?
Or the pollinators or the animals. It does have the milky sap, and it also produces toxic chemicals that are you don't want to eat it.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I know milkweed. I did not know that they weren't a good,
Well, they are
not bad. I'm just saying I didn't know that they could be potentially dangerous to.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I mean, the flowers are just gorgeous, right?
Yeah, they're really pretty.
Flowers are amazing. And tropical milkweed grows so abundantly as a annual, But we have native milkweeds in a lot of different varieties that are just gorgeous, really, really beautiful. And so I did learn some different things that milkweeds have been used for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was actually very surprised when I learned this. Now, I don't think they have an enormous commercial potential, but they have been used in large production throughout history because there's a special fiber inside the stem called the bast fiber.
Mm-hmm.
And so they use those fibers. It's been up in the northwestern United States and the western United States. The native peoples made rope out of those fibers.
Oh, wow.
String, all types of equipment like that.
Oh, man,
Isn't that
had to be a very meticulous, time-consuming process.
right?
Wow.
Wouldn't it? I think that too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But people, other places around the world have used that too. And there's a very special milkweed called the heartleaf milkweed that was native to the north and to the west of the United States. And that's the one that they specifically really like to use. I think it had longer fibers, longer fibers, and it must have really good strength.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
One of the other things that surprised me is everybody knows what a dandelion seed looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
With that big, fluffy, white, floaty stuff. Well, when the milkweed makes its seed, it actually has a fluffy fiber. They call it fluff. And you could actually take that fluff, and what they would do, they would spin it with maybe wool or cotton, and they would make a fiber.
Wow.
Make a yarn from it.
That's
that
amazing.
You could knit or weave, do whatever you need to. And the reason that it was important, this fluff has some insulating properties. The fluff has thermal insulating properties, acoustic insulating. It's very buoyant and water repellent.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened in World War II was they needed to fill the life jackets, but they didn't have enough of the, I think it was called capon maybe.
Okay.
And so what they did was they used the milk floss to help fill those life jackets.
Golly, I didn't know any of this.
I didn't either.
That's crazy.
I know. But so interesting,
It
right?
is.
So milk floss by itself doesn't really have superior insulating features, but let's say you combine it with down feathers, and that's where they would get really effective insulating properties. And so one of the things about the fluff is that it can absorb oil really, really well. So it has been used in oil spills to kind of clean up the oil.
Oh my gosh, really?
Crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
It's just crazy because to extract, I mean, we're talking this, it's so small. I mean,
yes.
It would take a long time to extract enough, it seems like.
Well, maybe that is why they haven't been able, to feature it. Maybe it has to be done. It didn't.
I don't know.
Tell me how they do the fluff.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
But maybe it has to be done by hand.
I mean, you'd almost think it would, but woof.
I know.
Okay.
And make rope. But you do have to realize that people worked very hard. They used to work very hard and year round. Maybe they saved it to do during the winter when the fish weren't biting.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it for like personal use. It would just, it would be time consuming, but I could see it. That's really interesting though.
If you spun it into yarn, it probably wouldn't take as much time as we think.
Okay.
Yeah. But in our area, which is central Texas and kind of up here on the Edwards Plateau, there are some species that I'm kind of interested in growing. And I have seen the first one I have actually seen in the wild. It's quite lovely, and it's called antelope horns.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It grows very low to the ground. It's probably, on a good day, it might get 12 inches high.
Mm-hmm.
But the flowers are so interesting. It actually has a 5-petal flower. All of the milkweeds do this, and the flowers fold back and open, and then there's a pollen sac, right? And it's not really easy to gather the pollen. Like a bumblebee could do it easily. A wasp could get in there probably pretty good. And some of your larger insects are good at it. But sometimes European honeybees can get trapped inside the pollen sac when they go in there to gather the pollen. And so it's kind of tricky to get into.
Okay.
But, the monarch butterfly figured it out.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And the other thing is that the toxins that are in the leaves, now, I didn't thoroughly understand the discussion, but what I gathered is that those butterflies need some of the toxins that they've adapted themselves to where that is beneficial to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting too, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So the antelope horns was described like this. It's I'm sorry, not the antelope horns, the Texas milkweed.
Okay.
The Texas milkweed also gets to be about 12 inches tall. Both of the antelope horns and the Texas milkweed are kind of white, and then the flower has a very dark, maybe maroon center, a dark center to it before it opens all the way out. The Texas milkweed is like a snowball on a slender stem.
Okay.
And I think that's quite appropriate, very pretty. There's also the green milkweed, which is the most common milkweed for our area. And then there's another one that I didn't really get to research too much called the plateau milk vine. And, you can find these at native plant nurseries and native plant associations online. There's also one other one I would like to grow that's kind of a rose to a lilac color on the bloom. And I do think they bloom like from May till the end of August. And it's called the swamp milkweed.
Yeah, I was actually I was looking at some of the pictures and I did see a swamp one.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's beautiful. It could grow quite tall. If it's in a setting that it really likes, it could get up to 5 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
And swamp gives you a clue. It does like to have moisture, not soggy. And then it likes to, it likes that heat and humidity. All of the milkweeds all of our native ones like our type of environment.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm just kind of looking I was wanted to remind myself what they look like, but there's a lot of sites out there. There's one that's types of milkweed that's native to Missouri. There's one for Wisconsin. So I think you're right. There's a lot of different types, and they seem to all have their own
own
areas.
Specific ecosystem.
Yeah, very
right?
cool.
And the insects they need that in that place. That's why backyard gardeners are so very important in this ecosystem, trying to encourage our native population. It's an
amazing plant. I got to be honest with you. Who knew?
Who knew? So I did want to tell everybody that when I was on the LadyBird Johnson Wildflower Center website and I was looking stuff up, they have a Project Milkweed. And this is to promote I'm kind of saying it in my own words. They said it much better. But to promote the growing and care of the native milkweed for the area that you live in, and also to care for and increase the population of butterflies that depend on the milkweed. And the monarch butterfly is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to go out there. They have a lot of other information available about the milkweed.
Yeah, and I can just say, just from doing a quick thing, it's regardless of where you live, you can probably find what's native, which type is native for you. So,
yes.
Pretty cool. Wow.
And you can plant the milkweed by seeds. You can buy seeds, or I'm seeing starts at our garden centers and things like that. So that was my discussion.
Very cool. Who knew? You see these things and you don't. It's neat to see the history.
And like it's just.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting, how it was used, and it's like throughout history, and it was, people really depended on things. So
isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Because how would they have? It makes me think, like, how did they first think of doing that? Did they?
I know, it's always interesting. Yeah, I'm always curious about that too.
Stem pop open, or
right?
What happened?
Somebody had to have an idea at some point.
Somebody had an idea.
I said, "Hey, let's try this." That's really cool. Well, thank you.
I'm really excited about our next segment.
What could that be?
Time?
It might be. Well, welcome to Jeff's Corner.
Yay.
And, so we've told everyone before, we don't collaborate on this part. So I don't ever.
We
honestly,
don't collaborate on any of it.
No, we don't. But I never tell you what I'm going to do.
No, you don't.
And it's very interesting that you hit upon something already.
What?
And I was going to ask you that, we know that bees and butterflies and stuff are pollinators, but beetles are pollinators. And I didn't know this. And the more interesting fact is they are actually among the oldest and most diverse pollinators on Earth. They were actually around before butterflies and bees. They were in the Mesozoic era when the dinosaurs were around. So one plant that was around back then was a magnolia. So
I had no idea.
The beetles are actually pollinators for magnolias.
I had no idea.
I mean, it's so their role in the pollination game is known as canthrophyly.
Canthrophyly, okay.
It's a little bit different than they call them the flashier ones. The butterflies and the bees, and but a little bit about the beetle as a pollinator. So they do have ancient origins. They were, like I said, they were around during the Mesozoic era, which is dinosaurs.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
And that's really when like flowering plants started to emerge. So they were there to do that. They're considered rough pollinators because unlike the bees and the beetles are kind of messy. They kind of get in there, bees and butterflies are kind of, I'm going to flitter in there and go do this.
I'll land lightly.
Yeah. And mostly, these guys, they chew on petals, pollen, floral tissue. So they're more they call them a brute force pollinator. So, but still effective. And they like scents over looks. So beetles are more drawn to strongly scented flowers, spicy, fruity, fermenting smells, those types of things.
Okay.
And now the type of flowers that love beetles, and beetles love them, are bowl-shaped or open.
Okay.
So they can get in to them because, they're not flying for the most part. White or dull-colored. Bright colors aren't as important to them. Like I said, highly scented, so they're the musky, fruity, spicy aromas.
Wow.
And they like them that are well padded with pollen, so they often feed on both pollen and the floral tissue itself.
Okay.
So a few of the ones that are common beetle-pollinated plants and plant families There's magnolias, like I said, and that's a plant family. It's called the Magnoliaceae.
Okay.
Water lilies.
Water lilies.
How about this one? Custard apples. I don't even know what that is. Do you?
I'm not sure what that is either.
It's a family called the Anonaceae.
Okay.
And then the Araceae family, which is the arum family, like a skunk cabbage.
Oh.
So, I don't know what a skunk cabbage is.
We've talked about a skunk cabbage. So
that's that's some of the families they do.
Okay. Go back for a second so I could take a note.
Yes.
What was it that
the custard apples?
The custard apple. Okay, I'm going to write that down.
And I've never heard of custard apples, so that would be a curious one to look at.
Okay. All right. Go forth.
And then the types of beetles that pollinate are your scarabs. They're mostly in the tropical ecosystems. They're major pollinators of palms and cicads. Cicad. I don't know how to say it. Cicads.
How do you spell it?
Cycads. Cicads. I think it's. So we're going with cicads.
I think so.
The soldier beetle. They find them on. Guess where we find those, Mary? On goldenrods, milkweed.
Whoa.
And other open flowers.
Really? Oh.
And then we have our very own local University of Texas longhorn beetle. They like large blossoms in forests and meadows. And then there's one called and I've heard of all those. There's one called a sap beetle. And they are found on flowers that smell like fermentation.
Okay.
So a fermented type of, maybe like that custard apple or something. Yeah. So in some ecosystems in tropical forests, they're more important actually than bees because they are required to be there. Some plants have evolved to trap the beetles temporarily. They only release them once pollination is complete. So they trap them in there.
That's interesting.
They kind of sneak them in.
Wow. And
then beetles, a lot of times they kind of carry around more than just pollen. They carry fungal spores, bacteria that influence plant health.
Yes.
So, when you see the beetles, which I didn't realize they were pollinators, to be honest with you.
I'm fascinated.
It's pretty cool. So, again, they support biodiversity in the forest and wetlands. They pollinate the plants that are ancient evolutionary holdouts is what they like to go for.
Interesting.
And they contribute to the pollination of native ornamentals and food plants.
Right.
Particularly in tropical and subtropical regions. I mean, that's... the bees and the butterflies get all the glory, but those beetles are working hard, man.
They're the soldier beetle.
they are. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, I didn't.
Right. Yes.
You see beetles, and I don't look at them as pollinators, but I thought it was interesting that they are actually pre-bees and butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you think about a magnolia that was part of that era,
right.
They had to be pollinated somehow, and it was the beetles that did it.
I can't wait to go and research that and see what it looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah, we got to figure out what this custard apple is.
Yeah, the magnolia is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And several of our neighbors have had really good success with the magnolia tree.
They did.
I've been a little bit, standing back away from it, but we might have to look into a magnolia.
I know, we'll get a magnolia and we'll throw some beetles on her.
I know. Here you go, Susie Magnolia.
Well, that is all I had for Jeff's Corner today.
I love it.
And it was funny that you brought up beetles during what you were talking about. And you even said, I didn't know that. And I was like, well, I'm going to tell her all about it shortly.
Wow.
And I surely did.
Is funny.
Did tell you about it.
But now it said beetles, and now you have said what kind.
Yes.
So I'm going to go look at a picture of it.
There you go.
A soldier beetle.
All right. Very good.
I like it. I like that.
All right. What else you got?
Well, my next topic of conversation is lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
I love lemongrass. Oh, my gosh. And I made soap.
Mm-hmm.
And
You were a soap maker.
I was a soap maker. I made cold processed soap. And I did love to use a lemongrass soap in making those bars because the fragrance held and it was fresh. It stayed very pure when you were done mixing your ingredients together. And so I've always been a big fan. And I have to tell everyone in our area, lemongrass is one of the herbs that grows so well and is very ornamental. We grow it in containers here. I don't grow it in the ground, but I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. The lemongrass that I am talking about is Cymbopogon citratus.
We really kill some of these names. I got to be honest with you. We both do. No, you may have said that perfectly correct, but we're killers on the actual names.
Well, there's another grass called a citronella grass, and that is different.
Yes,
from what I'm talking about. A citronella grass is different from a citronella plant.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You could tell the difference between lemongrass and citronella grass because lemongrass remains green and white all the way down into the bulb, but citronella grass has a red streak. Both of them are edible, but they have different uses. The lemongrass that I'm talking about has been more traditionally used to add fragrance to dishes that people cook in Vietnam and Thailand, I believe. It's, and Thai and Vietnamese cooking.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a perennial. It's classified as being perennial in the ground from zones 9 to 11. I don't grow mine in the ground. I grow it in containers because it will spread. It is a grass. And so for me in the wintertime, I need to either do a harvesting like I'm going to talk about and save over some of the grass bulbs, or I just have to replant it again next year. But it can grow. If it really loves your conditions, it could get up to 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall. Usually here in Texas, it was described as getting up to 3 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. Now, I think it was last year, I had a container that has to be 3 feet in diameter. It's kind of shaped like a bowl where the sides bulge out. And so the lemongrass stalks didn't really fill the whole container up. But when I went to pull out the roots, that entire bowl was just roots. There wasn't hardly any soil left, which surprised me very much. It grew so well in there. But what that tells me that in our area, it might get out of control if I planted it in the ground.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And so the other thing I've discovered about lemongrass to be a little careful about is that it will grow right out the bottom of the container. Like if you have it in a plastic container and you don't have that container raised up, it'll send roots right out the bottom and root into the soil.
Okay.
So, it has pluses and minuses. But anyway, it does like to have a medium water situation, and it doesn't really like to dry out completely. It likes a very rich soil. It doesn't really flower, but it is very ornamental. It's green all the way through summer, and then it'll get a red cast in the autumn. And you could propagate it like I'm going to tell you right now. So when you're getting ready for your cold weather, what you could do is you could cut the leaves off, and you could actually pick out the leaves that you want to keep, harvest them, wash them really good, dry them, and put them in baggies and freeze them. And then you could use them in culinary or I like to use them in a fragrance, a simmer pot to fragrance the house. That's my favorite way. You can also seed them out indoors, or you can direct sow after the weather is warm. So those are 3 different ways. It's a member of the grass family. Here we go again, Poaceae family. And so you can use lemongrass. You could use lemongrass in chili oil. Oh, let me mention this before I go on. Whenever you're going to harvest your stalks of lemongrass, you want to wear gloves. And the reason for that is because the leaves are thin and they have sharp sides to them. So you don't want to give yourself like a paper cut.
Right.
When you do harvest the stems or stalks, you want to go down into the ground a little bit so you don't cut the bottom bulb. And those bulbs that you pull out in the cold weather, you can also wash them, clean them off, and put them in a baggie and freeze those for the winter. And then some of the ones that have roots on the bottom, what you do is you just fill a jar a little bit with water and put your stem in there, keep it in the house, and then next spring it will grow roots and you'll be able to have lemongrass to plant out again. So lemongrass is really good to fragrance. Usually it's used aromatically when you're cooking soups, salads. They did show chopping it up really fine. I've never tried that before. Salads and stir fries and a chili oil. Ooh, wouldn't that be good?
That's interesting,
lemongrass chili oil.
That would probably be good.
We need to try that. Lemongrass tea is highly thought of, especially like if you mix it with ginger. That would be really good. And you can use it for marinating on a simmer pot for fragrancing your home. So whenever you have the little stem in the water, and you want to make sure you have the whole bulb. If the bulb has been chopped off below the bottom, it won't root for you. So you want to make sure you go, it's kind of slender, but you go down, it forms like this triangle with a curve at the bottom. You want that whole curve. And then just a tiny bit of extra. Yeah. And then it will root. They love our weather. They love sunlight and they love humidity. That's perfect for us. The larger the container you could put it in, the better. And I learned that it's better to have a container with straight sides instead of a bulbing one like we do currently have, because it's easier to pull the stalks out in the end. And so like a 10-gallon container, and then if you have 3 to 4 stalks, it'll fill out that whole pot with leaves by the end of the growing season. And so as far as like fertilizing, I read different advice. One person said that they only put what they're going to put on in the beginning of the growing season and they don't add anything else. And their plants looked beautiful, gorgeous. Another person said that they like to add maybe worm castings, compost, or a little bit of organic fertilizer, I suppose you could say, every other week to the top of the planter. And then another person likes to do it every week, just very diluted, watering in type of fertilizer like worm casting tea or compost tea or something like that. And it's a grass. So grasses generally like to have a little bit more nitrogen type of thing and a little bit more bacterial than, say, something that would be like a rose or something like that. Yes, that is lemongrass.
Lemongrass. They smell good too.
Ours is well, reportedly it's good to help hinder mosquitoes. But the thing about that is for the mosquitoes to actually be inhibited. You have to crush the leaves of whatever you're trying to grow. And we don't always do that, right?
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, purportedly, it does repel mosquitoes. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
Let's see what else I could tell you about that. During the growing season, just like any other grass, if it begins to look ugly and you don't like it, you can prune it and it will grow back just like any other grass.
Okay.
And yeah, that is what I want to say
The
about
lemongrass.
lemongrass.
I like it.
Very beautiful plant.
It is a nice plant.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the lemongrass.
And I'm showing Jeff a picture of it.
Thank you. I do know the lemongrass.
It has a mounding habit.
I'm getting there on identifying some of these now.
I'm so proud of you.
But I do know the lemongrass.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
That's probably because whenever we go out in the backyard, I grab a leaf.
Yes,
and
you always
smell this.
Smell this, Jeff. Lemongrass.
Smell this, Jeff.
Or it's either lemongrass or the
yes.
Gosh, what's the other one? Sage, right? No. Thai basil.
Basil.
There you go. Well, what else you got?
It's come to that time of the program, honey, where we look ahead to the next week.
Well, let's look ahead. What do you have next for this upcoming week? I'll say that.
I'm kind of excited. I picked up the July and August Texas Gardener magazine, and there is an article in there written by Keith Hansen, and it's Mad About Mangavis.
Okay.
And I do not know anything about a mangavi.
Oh, mangavis.
So for the next time that we're able to meet together and talk, I think that's what I want to do my research on.
Neat.
And find out about. They look beautiful.
They do. All right. That's a cool one.
I'm not sure. Here are some other pictures. The Texas Gardener magazine is
it was a good magazine.
Really good. Yeah.
All right. Mangavis.
Mangavi. And I can't remember off the top of my head where I learned about a kokedama. And kokedama is a Japanese word meaning moss. The koka is moss and the dama means ball, I think, or I hope I got that in the right order. Anyways, so you are going to be getting your hands very muddy this week as we create our very own kokedama planter. Okay. Right. So it's a planter that just is a moss ball with a plant growing out of it.
Okay.
And theoretically, it says that it should last 2 years.
Okay.
If you make it correctly. So I gathered all of the ingredients and we got a plant and we're going to put our elbow grease in there.
Okay.
And next week, I hope to report about it.
We shall do it. Kokedama and mangave.
And mangave.
Sounds like fun.
A kokedama. Okay.
All right.
I think it should be fun.
It will be.
Yeah.
We'll make it fun. All right. Well,
thank you so much for your Jeff's Corner. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, we got you. We got you beetled.
Learning about that.
Yes. Well, as always, everyone, we appreciate you guys joining us here at MaryBird's Backyard Garden.
We do.
Yeah, we definitely do. We hope you join us next time for Mangavi and Kokedama.
Kokedama.
Should be an interesting week, folks.
It should be very interesting.
Well, until then, we will see you.
Gardening.
Yes, we'll see you next time here at MaryBird's Backyard Garden. Bye.